So this was a bilateral capsulectomy, en bloc, both implants. They're old silicone implants from the 80s, I believe. Both of them had really bad capsular contractures. You can see this on both sides over here, a really thick calcium that's formed around this implant. Both of them are likely ruptured implants, ruptured silicone implants. The right one for sure, she had a mammogram which showed that it was already extracapsular with free silicone, meaning there was silicone already out of the capsule. And what I want to show you is it becomes a little bit thicker in a couple areas. You see this little extension of tissue over here? That's where the capsule had previously opened and there was silicone that had kind of leaked out into there. What the body does is it forms a lot of scar around it, so it tries to encase it itself to try to block it out from everything else, and that helps us because we can try to get around that to try to keep everything within that. This is technically called a silicone granuloma, which when it's outside the implant like that. So we took this out, got all that out, but then you could feel a couple areas that were still inside of her, kind of on the chest wall, where they felt like there was still silicone in there. And that's what these couple areas are, these kind of silicone granulomas. You can see how squishy this is over here. If you open it up, you'd get some silicone that would kind of leak out from there. So we went back in and made sure that we got everything that I could possibly feel and see. And it's just to totally feel and looking at everything else to make sure that we didn't miss anything. You can even see a little bit of that silicone here. Yeah. So that's how we know that these are silicone granulomas. And so we try to take a look at everything, make sure everything comes out of there. We'll open this implant up. So yeah, this side was ruptured too. It just stayed within its capsule for us. And you can see all the calcium that's built up around. And all that calcium around there, that just means it's been ruptured for probably a long time in there. And these are really old implants. These are old patches on the implant. Some of the old generation implants, they use that, sometimes a 𝓢𝓾𝓻𝓳𝓽 patch or something like that. And you can see that over here. And you can see the 4 little spots that it was on there. The other side over here. So same thing, all this calcium that's deposited on here gives you an idea that it's been ruptured for a long time. These are the little patches that are kind of sticking to the capsule here. Otherwise, no outgoing masses or anything. Looks like a lot of just calcium built up around there. Those patches we talked about previously. So both sides, everything came out of there for her nicely, luckily nice and kind of intact. So there wasn't a lot of spillage or anything inside her breast. And these little granulomas, she'll be happy that we kind of went back in there, made sure we got those out for her. So that's her today. I think she's going to be happy not having these things walking around with her anymore, these kind of ruptured silicone implants, and they're out for now.